The Galaxy M32. It's the latest M series smartphone in the mid-range segment, and with this, Samsung is the first in bringing a 90 Hz OLED panel in this price segment. And this time they've experimented further with the design of the back panel to make it look more uniquely M series. So the phone retails for approximately 15,000 rupees for the base variant. So real quick inside the box, I've got the 4 gigs blue colored M32, I've got the Type-C cable, a 15 watt charger, although this supports 25 watt fast charging, and you've got the ejection pin, and that's pretty much it. No earphones, no protective casing, and no pre-applied screen protector out of the box. The back panel is all plastic, which is quite normal in this price segment, but it does not feel cheap for sure. The vertical lines run along the back panel on a very good looking blue color, and like most plastic bags, this is too a fingerprint magnet, so just keep in mind. Also, this phone has a side-mounted physical fingerprint sensor, which tends to be faster than, the regular optical in-display fingerprint sensors. The side bezels are acceptably thin, but the chin continues to be on the thicker side. In fact, I'm waiting for an M series phone to come with even slimmer bezels, something that looks more cutting edge, something more like flagship phones, but still come with the M series price label. That would be really good. And you do get your headphone jack. But really, the highlight of the device is its display. A 90 Hz OLED display is the first of its kind that you get in this price segment. The AMOLED panel is super punchy, colorful, and it's known for its vivid colors, and Samsung displays have always been about it. So there's no doubt that the display is superb. And the 90 Hz just makes everyday use feel a lot smoother and faster. In fact, a few experiments and studies have shown that a 90 Hz OLED or AMOLED panel can be better in a few aspects as compared to a 120 Hz LCD panel, especially in terms of response time and blur-free imagery. And so gaming, for example, on this device would be better than it would be on a 120 Hz LCD panel in terms of clarity and response time. So that gun you fire would just be a tad bit faster on this 90 Hz OLED panel than it would be on a 120 Hz LCD panel. Oh, and this display can go up to 800 nits of peak brightness, which is again one of the brightest displays you can get in this price segment. But 800 nits is only when the phone kicks into high brightness mode, and that happens when your environment is very bright, like really hard sunshine, right? Now, if you're looking for the brightest display in this price segment, the M32 is it. And by the way, it comes with Gorilla Glass 5, so it's a pretty strong display protection. Moving into the software side of things, the M32 comes loaded with Android 11 One UI 3.1, and so you do get most of the bells and whistles that come with One UI. However, the important ones are that you get Samsung Pay Mini, you get Secure Folder, and you get Quick Switch. Now, if you don't know what Quick Switch is and how you can use it and why is it useful, I've done a video on that. It'll be linked here in the top right corner, so do check it out. Now, you also get access to edge panels, so you can install more of these from the Galaxy store and have fun with those. You also get Dolby Atmos, but that only works if you've got, a pair of earphones connected, and you get always on display as well. But just to bring to your attention, there are a few things that are missing despite this having One UI 3.1. Things like link to Windows, edge lighting, inbuilt screen recording, Bixby routines. These are all things that are just not there in this phone. I'm not sure why. Also, Android 12 is going to come on this device. It is going to be upgradable to Android 12. We just don't know when, but rest assured, you'll get that update. And now let's talk about performance. So the M32 is powered by Mediatek G80 processor, which is an incrementally better or upgraded processor than what we saw with the Galaxy M31. Now, for a mid-ranger, this performance is decent at most. In regular day-to-day use, you won't really experience any hiccups. Launching apps and switching between them, it's quick and easy. It's not super snappy though. See, I've got the 4GB RAM variant. Apps that were open long back, they shut down and refresh themselves when you launch them from recent apps menu. So it takes a while for them to load back, and as if they're being opened for the first time. Which is why I would recommend that you do get the 6GB variant just to ensure that you get a smoother performance. Now, I tried playing a few games on the device and I did not face any issue. Despite this being on 4GB variant, I did push the graphic quality to medium and frame rate to high on Call of Duty, and the gameplay was smooth. I had no issues while playing. There were no frame drops, no hiccups of any sort. It was fine. And FYI, this does not have stereo speakers. So just the bottom firing speakers are the actual speakers. The earpiece is just for phone calls. And now, battery. So the M series phones have always been known for humongous battery capacities, and the M32 is no exception. I mean, it comes with 6,000 milliampere hours, which is still a lot of battery capacity. And this one comes with Mediatek G80 processor, which is not as power hungry. So the efficiency of the battery, I mean, it can last longer without sucking up too much power, right? So, I mean, this will definitely last you through the day. You'll be really hard pressed to drain the battery in the same day. But with moderate usage, you can almost stretch it up for 2 days. And that's great. And finally, coming on to the camera, you've got the specs right here in front of you. It's a quad camera setup, but let me take you through some pictures and samples that I took real quick. So these are the ones that I took using the primary lens, and of course these are outdoors in ample sunlight, more towards the evening. But yeah, the pictures came out really well. I mean, surprisingly well for a mid-range phone. Now, when it comes to indoors with lesser lighting, there is a bit of a struggle. You know, for example, this image got overexposed. But yeah, you can make some tweaks and balances and you can get the right picture. Now here's a side-by-side comparison of photos taken using the primary lens and the ultra-wide lens from the same spot. Now the ultra-wide lens tends to have a better dynamic range in general, but the quality of ultra-wide lens is not that good. It's an 8 megapixel camera and it doesn't do a great job. Like, this is the primary photo, and this is what the ultra-wide photo came out, which I felt was a little inferior in quality. Now, these are shots I took using the portrait mode, and you can see that the background blurring is beautiful. It's bang on. I mean, these pictures have come out so well. I was really amazed at the phone's capability of, you know, separating the background and the foreground. And here are some shots I took using the macro lens. And whether you use it or not, I have shared some samples for the few of you who do think macro lenses are something that you're going to be using. So here are some samples for that. And in the front, you get a 20 megapixel selfie camera, which I think does a pretty good job. So I took 2 photos, one where the light was in front of me and another one where the light was behind me. And I think the camera did a pretty good job of, you know, detecting my face and being able to capture a picture with pretty decent skin tones. So, and this is with portrait mode where the background gets blurred. I think both were really nice. Now you also don't get too many camera modes. You get portrait mode and a few, handful of these, and even within the pro mode, you only get like a few tweaks possible. So it's not really a full-fledged pro mode. Even in videos, you can only take up to 1080p videos at 30 FPS. So from a camera or photography point of view, what I have to say is that it does take pretty good photos. If you've seen the samples, they don't look bad at all, but it lacks modes that enable you to create different types of content, especially for social media, stuff like single take, which is not there, for example. The pro mode does not have too many options, just a lack of super slow-mo or, all of that interesting stuff that can happen with photo modes or with, camera modes can limit you in terms of, how much content you want to create or the kind of content you want to create. So if all of that is very important to you, I would recommend, saving a bit more of money and probably investing into a slightly higher budget smartphone, probably an A series that does offer more camera modes. So to conclude, if you're looking for a phone with really good battery capacity and a really good display, and you're hard pressed to be in the 15,000 rupee budget, look no further. The Galaxy M32 is the best bet you've got. And in this price segment, you cannot get a better, smoother, and a brighter, like 800 nits of peak brightness. You're not gonna get it in this price segment otherwise. Also, this is dual SIM, plus it has a storage slot, so you can expand storage by 1 terabyte on top of the internal storage that you already have. And you can expand storage that way. And that's it, guys, on the Galaxy M32 first impressions. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the comment section below. And as always, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell notification icon. I'll see you guys in the next one.